Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and today I have a very exciting video for you. It's a video that I wanted to film for a very long time. Today I'm going to show you all of my Shady Glow eyeshadows. I have them all in this little magnetic palette here. This one is from Tarte and it's a beautiful shifting one, and I just wrote Shady Glow in here. I hope that you can see it. It took me almost 5 minutes to get it to show up that you can almost read it. So yeah, I just tried here. And yeah, so this is my little magnetic palette here where I keep all of them. So just let me start. So Shady Glow has some of my favorite single eyeshadows and one of my favorite eyeshadow formulas of all of them. So in here I do have some from the Galaxy collection and some from the Metallian collection. But I feel like the formula is different in every single eyeshadow. So not all of the Galaxy eyeshadows are the same formula and not all of the Metallian eyeshadows are the same formula. And to be honest, I don't really know where the difference should be because I feel like some of the Metallian ones could be Galaxy eyeshadows and also the other way around. So I would say we just jump right into it, and I'm going to swatch all of them and talk about what I think about them and what my favorites are and what my least favorites are. Let's start with two eyeshadows that are not available anymore because they're discontinued. I bought them secondhand. It was the first time that I tried Shady Glow, and it's these two here. So they were from the Galaxy collection. This one here is called Horizon, and this one here is called Cleopatra. So these two are no longer available, but I will still swatch them for you. They are still performing very beautiful. I'm going to swatch them here. So as you can see, this is a very bright aqua teal color with a golden shift, and this one is more like a warm plummy shade with a bit of a lavender shift. And they both have a ton of sparkle in them, which the camera doesn't pick up that well, but they are stunning. So these two are no longer available, so I just wanted to get it out of the way. Then I would say I take all of the Galaxy eyeshadows out first. So these are all of my Galaxy eyeshadows, and these are the Metallian ones. So I will put them to the side for now. So these are all of my Galaxy eyeshadows. I have 10 of them and then the two that are discontinued. So let's start with the first and I think most famous one. This one here is Unexpected, and it has kind of a bit of a warm neutral base, and then it shifts to green, a bit of purple, blue, so in very different ways. I don't think that the camera picks it up quite good, but I will just swatch it and show you. I love the formula on these and how they feel when I touch them. They have this very, I don't know, almost flaky formula, but very creamy. So they almost feel like cream eyeshadows. So this is the first one, Unexpected. And this is what it's looking like. It's stunning and definitely one of my favorites, but I will let you know more about that later on. So I think this is one of the best formulas in the Galaxy collection. Then next is the shade Good God. This is also very beautiful, also this great formula that Unexpected has. Very creamy to the touch, a bit flaky looking, very beautiful. It has more of like a cool tone to sheer base, and it shifts from pink to blue and maybe a bit of lavender in between. It's a very icy eyeshadow. It's very bright and it has a ton of reflex to it. And both of them have a lot of tiny micro glitter in it, so they are very sparkly. So you can see when I shift my hand that it has a bit of a base to it, but not as deep as Unexpected. Then next is Opal. This one has kind of a pinky, very icy pinky base, and then it shifts kind of blue, and it has a ton of micro glitter in it that is blue. So I feel like this one is a bit deceiving when you see it in the pen, because when I apply it to my lid and especially over other eyeshadows, it really adds a ton of blue to the look and not pink. So this is what that one is looking like, and as you can see, the shine is not as intense as with the other two ones, and the base is a lot sheerer, so you can almost not see it, but I feel like the camera cannot pick up the blue shift that it gives you. So just keep that in mind. Then the next one that I have is Sin, and as you can see, it has a light purple base, and then it has more like a golden shift to it. This one actually is one that I don't like that much. It feels a lot drier to the touch, and the shift isn't that strong, and also the reflect isn't that strong. I mean, you can see it's still a nice eyeshadow, but I just don't feel like it's that special, especially compared to the other ones, because they are so incredibly special. And this one is just more like a regular eyeshadow, I would say. So it's still pretty, but just not as intense and not as sparkly and not as shifty and also not as bright, and yeah, just not as intense. But you can see it has this lavender base and then just like a bright golden reflect to it. Then the next one that I have is called AKA, and it has a bright pink base to it, as you can see, and then a strong golden shift and a ton of sparkle in it. So this is it on my finger compared to Sin. It's this one, and this one is AKA. And now let me swatch it. So this is way more intense than Sin, and it also feels way more creamy. So I feel like this one is more on par with the other ones, and this is just a bit lackluster compared to the other ones. So this is AKA, you can see a strong pink base. So this is the first row of my Galaxy shadows. This is AKA, Sin, Opal, Good God, and Unexpected. Now let's continue with the second row. So this one here is called Fairy Acid, and it has a very grungy, almost olivey green base to it, but it looks a bit more cool tone, so it's almost like a silver, but then it has a ton of golden micro shimmer in it, so it pulls also warm, so it's a very special eyeshadow, and I feel like this formula is totally different than all the other ones. It is very opaque, it also feels very creamy, and it's very opaque, and then it has a ton of this micro shimmer in it. So as you can see, I mean, the color goes on and on forever, so you only need a tiny amount of it. I love this eyeshadow. I think this is one of my favorites out of the collection. So I do love this eyeshadow. I think it's very beautiful, but it's definitely different. The other ones are more like duochromes, I would say, and a bit more sheerer. This is not. So This is the perfect one for all over the lid, and yeah, just like a one and done eyeshadow. I love this one. You cannot really see the golden sparkle in it, but it has a very strong golden reflect too. So from my angle, it looks like a warm toned gold, and from in the viewfinder, it looks like a cool toned silvery green. So it has both cool and warmth in it, and I love that. Then the next one here is called Peachy Keen, and as you can see, it has a peach base and then a bright green reflect. I actually really like this one. This formula is totally different than all the other ones. It's more like a very smooth powder, so it feels almost like an HD powder to the touch. It doesn't have this creamy, a bit flaky texture to it. But I really enjoy this one. I use it a ton, more like for simpler, more everyday looks. So as you can see, it has a very bright, very light green reflect. And then when I shift my hand, you can really see the peach base of it. Then the next one here is called Insane, and it is insane. It's a beautiful purple eyeshadow with a strong blue shift and a ton of blue micro glitter in it, and also very warm purple micro glitter in it. So you know, it's not pressed glitter, it's mica in these eyeshadows. So I love these, and they sparkle so much. This one feels a bit drier to the touch, not as creamy, but still a bit flaky and beautiful. So you can see the blue shift here. This one is a bit more on the sheerer side, because when you can see when you swatch it, it gets a bit more sheer, and then you have the strong blue reflect. So when I shift my hand, it's this purple, and then when I turn it, you can see the blue. Also very bright, very beautiful. If you like purple eyeshadow, this is a stunning one. I use this one a ton. I really do like this one. This one here is called Anomaly, and it is a bright blue with a bit of a purple shift to it and a lot of brightness to it. So it's almost like Insane, but the other way around. So you can see it has almost like a purple base to it. It has this blue purple base to it. And then when I shift my hand, it has a very strong, very light blue reflect to it. This one here is the last one from my Galaxy Shadows. It is a very special one. It has a ton of mica in it. It is so sparkly. It has a deep blue base and then a ton of blue, silver and golden sparkle in it. And also it shifts to more of a bright blue. You can see all the sparkle in it. It's so pretty. So this is the perfect eyeshadow if you like dark blue smoky eyes with a ton of sparkle. I actually do have a tutorial for a smoky eye with this eyeshadow on my channel. If you want to check it out, I will try to link it down below in the description box. This is an insanely beautiful eyeshadow. So this is the second row. This is Watermark, this is Anomaly, Insane, Peachy Keen and Fairy Acid. So these are the 4 Metallian eyeshadows that I do own, and I would say let's just start straight away with this one here. This one here is called Lavender, and as you can see it has a lavender base to it and then a pretty strong, just bright reflect to it. So this one here is not so much a duochrome, it has this strong lavender purple base to it and then just a strong reflect to it. But to the touch, it still feels very creamy. And it swatches beautifully. So this is a beautiful eyeshadow. So you can see here is the lavender base and then the strong reflect. Then the next one here is called Visions, and it's more like a bit of a mid-tone to deep silver eyeshadow. So when I purchased it, I thought that it would be a bit brighter, but it's actually a bit deeper. So it has a very deep base. And it's almost like, I don't know how to explain this color. It's so difficult to describe these eyeshadows. Because from where I'm looking, it looks more like a warm tone silver, and in the viewfinder it looks more silvery, bright and cool toned. It also feels very creamy. You can see, I mean, the pigment goes on and on. These Metallian ones, some of them, not all of them, but this one, they look so foiled when you apply them. They're truly amazing. So you can see it's totally opaque. It has a pretty deep base and then it has a very bright foiled finish. Then the next one is this more like champagne-y one. I feel like it's a light cool toned gold or champagne, as you like to describe it. And it has a lot of tiny sparkle in it. It is very beautiful and it's one of my favorite like special occasions eyeshadow. So like on Christmas or for any kind of event or party, I love to use this eyeshadow because it is so sparkly. And again, you can see how smooth that applies. So again, the pigment goes on and on. These two look very similar, but this one is actually a lot lighter than this one, and it also has more warmth to it. So it's more like a cool toned gold, and this is more like a, grayish silver. So yeah, but both of them have a ton of sparkle to them that the camera doesn't want to pick up. So here it's Loaded. And then one of my favorite eyeshadows of all time is this one here. It's called Hey Papi, and it is a very foiled gold eyeshadow, and it looks like liquid gold when you apply it. You only need the tiniest bit. And again, the pigment goes on and on. It's so pretty. Here is Hey Papi. This one here is Visions. This one here is Lavender, and this one here is Loaded. And here you can see them again on my hand. So this is Hey Papi, this is Loaded, Visions, and Lavender. and you can see they are stunning. So these are all the eyeshadows that I have from Shady Glow, and now let's talk about my favorites and my least favorites. So I would say that two that are discontinued I will not talk about anymore. These are these two. And I would say my favorites, let me just group them into my favorites. Okay, so my personal favorites are Unexpected, Good God, Opal, Hey Papi, Fairy Acid, Insane, Anomaly, and Watermark. And the ones that I still like a lot, and I'm glad that I have them, they're just not my top favorites, are Peachy Keen, Sin, aka Visions, Loaded, and Lavender. And I think that all of them are beautiful. I feel like the most and only really a bit disappointing eyeshadow is Sin, because it's so much more lackluster than all the other ones. And Lavender, I feel like, is a bit more on the crumblier side than the other ones, which I don't prefer the formula of this one. But all the other ones are very beautiful. Oh, and Visions, I would say, was just a lot deeper than I expected. So that is the one thing that let me down with this one. But it's still a beautiful eyeshadow. And AK is just like a pink, and I don't really reach for pinks that much. Peachy Keen, I feel like, should actually be with the favorites because I use it a lot. But it's just more like the smooth formula, so it's not like this very special sparkly formula. That's why it's not in my favorites. And then Loaded is just one that I use only, once a year or so. So that's just, yeah. So that's just the reason why they're not in my favorites. And then these 8 here, I just love them. Watermark, actually, I don't use it a ton because it's a deep blue with a ton of sparkle, but I feel like it is so special that it cannot not be my favorite. And I really do love these two together, so Insane and Anomaly. I love using both of them together and create a bit of a gradient between them. They are so beautiful together. Fairy Acid is just a very special eyeshadow, and yeah, I just love it. Unexpected is definitely my favorite, so if you want to pick only one, it's definitely Unexpected, and then second to that is Hey Papi. So these two are my top favorites out of the whole Shady Glow eyeshadows. And then Good God and Opal are just beautiful toppers. But I feel like I have other toppers that do kind of the same thing, but Unexpected and Hey Papi are really special in my collection. So yeah, this is everything that I have to say about my Shady Glow eyeshadows. I hope that this video was somehow helpful for you. If you want to see more in-depth videos like this about my other single eyeshadows, let me know down below. Let me know what you have from Shady Glow and if you want to try anything. And I hope that you did enjoy this video. Hit the like button if you did, and thank you all so much for watching. I wish you all a beautiful day.